the last 8 years, it's always been somebody will send a song over the internet. We'll all work individually trying to add stuff or come up with the arrangements of the song and trying to put our personalities and our character into the song. And then we'll get together to throw it all together, usually before a tour, and hope that it works. This time, having done that for a little bit, we thought it might produce interesting results to try to do it like we used to do it.
We kind of went into the writing process with very little planned out in advance. You know, it wasn't like people showed up and were like, I have, you know, these 10 ideas, and like we'd already heard them in advance by email and sort of come up with our own parts. Something like Merriweather, we wanted to be kind of ambient and more of like a headphone kind of listen, and there was file sharing and people adding ideas to something someone else had sent. When you're doing the writing by file sharing, you tend to work in headphones. But for Centipede Hz, it's not at all the sound we wanted. We kind of instantly knew, even just from the earliest conversations, like we need to be like in a room with amplifiers and a lot of volume and the cymbals crashing, and like everything needs to be in your face, and that will influence the kind of parts that each of us would write for the record.
With the last one, Noah wrote more of the songs than he did for this record. It was so close to him having worked on his own solo thing that I just had more time leading up to the record to write more. Josh also contributed a song.
That definitely kind of just brought a new perspective on the process that we go through. It feels very different to be on the side of trying to help someone else's song kind of come to life. There's certain things that are sort of revealed in that process, and then on the flip side, I think to have a song that you kind of feel this like internal attachment to, and you've kind of like had form in your own head on some level, but you're also like opening it up for other people to sort of take it and change it. We kind of really wanted to get back to that sweaty, immediate excitement of being able just to plug in and turn on the amp and get really loud.
All the records we do, for the most part, are recorded live, even if they're sort of planned out and written with some email or phone or Skype or whatever. It was just more of like a group workshop type of experience this time around. It was literally just like, let's jam for a couple weeks, sort of get some ideas about sounds that we want to explore, and certain melodies came out of that, which were then turned into songs.
We just set up a space that was good for working on sounds or jamming or writing or doing our own stuff, and it kind of just all happened there in Baltimore and felt really good.
The last album, I felt like it was way more mental. There's longer samples and sound sources that we manipulate with our fingers, but it was a real kind of like mental performance. So I was sort of itching to do something way more like physically involved and visceral. So my sort of immediate thought was to sit down at a drum kit, because that's like the most physical thing I've done in terms of music. So I was really psyched to do that again. I thought maybe adding less typical elements to the drum kit might be cool. I was into Latin percussive sounds and stuff like that, so I got some bongos and a couple other sort of atypical percussive elements that I used.
I play a lot more keyboards on this stuff. I guess that's my primary instrument, especially the stuff I wrote. That's different than a lot of the stuff which I've usually done more like guitar stuff.
Merriweather was sort of a lot of field recordings, a lot of ambient, sort of natural sounds, and I kind of grown pretty tired of those things, so I sort of set like a rule for myself on this one, like no insects, no bugs, no animal sounds, no sort of outdoor ambience. We talked about this one existing in a more kind of defined small space, like even though there's a lot of outer space imagery with the record, it wasn't supposed to be like you were sort of literally out in space. It was supposed to be more like inside like a control room, picking up various transmissions that were colliding into each other and making some new form of, you know, cut up kind of collage. When you listen to an Animal Collective record, there's just some kind of quality that you're like, this sounds like an Animal Collective record. And I think we're happy about that. I think we want to be a band that sounds unique and that you wouldn't really say when you listen to them like, that sounds like this other thing.
I think we're just lucky to have met each other. You know, it sounds kind of corny to say, but the pieces fit together pretty well in terms of our personalities and the kind of stuff that we like. It's been mutually beneficial for all of us.